My name is Steph and welcome to this video. This video briefly introduces and describes the authentic self model. I'm super excited to share this model with you as it forms an integral part of the foundation of all of my teachings. Now, this authentic self model alongside the sovereign leadership model forms part of the foundation of all of my teachings and all of the wisdom that I express through those teachings. Now, my teachings center around and revolve around knowing self in as much depth and breadth as possible. It is this depth and this breadth into self that actually provides us with a profound perspective on our external reality, on our relationships, and into moving through proper governance of self. And by proper, I refer to acting in accordance with our evolving end state, our telos, our purpose, and our highest values. And the authentic self model is all about living truthfully, openly, and authentically. When we do this, we provide a platform for the best version of ourselves to be presented to our global community, our global family. And here, in this space, we create with deliberate intent and meaningful purpose an opportunity for others to be and do the same. For others to feel open enough, inspired and courageous enough to step into their own authentic courage. This occurs because we are leading by an authentic example. Living in authenticity, defined in its rawest form, would be for me as follows. When there is clarity, symbiosis, mirroring, and integrity in the communication of one's inner state, transferred to both internal and external communication and action. This means our internal dialogue, external communication, and overall action that takes place in our lives, that we take in life, is in alignment with our innermost, deepest desires, effectively our authentic nature. The authentic self model was developed from a deep observation of self. See, I personally acted and behaved inauthentically for many, many years, and my ability to observe this continued state was only possible when I stepped outside of myself and took a broader perspective of my own personal circumstances. And the reality was that this was only possible for me by passing through traumatic, painful, and confronting experiences that almost forced me to evaluate life very differently. I say almost forced because we all have choices. And this phase of my life at this time in this space allowed me to profoundly want to choose to observe and take action in the expression of pure transformation. For this I am deeply grateful. Although there was much transitional pain, I would not and could not change this path. The learning, the wisdom, the revelation, the deep transformative postures that have arisen from making the choice to choose what I define as an authentic path have been simply life-changing for me. It is because of these transformative experiences that I have been able to observe closely the similar and connected experiences that us as humans share as a community, and arrive at a conclusion that if we follow a set of guiding principles, assume a set of varied, diverse and relevant postures executed with deliberate intent and understood profoundly in a manner that promotes expansion and growth, then we can live an open, transparent, inspired and importantly, authentic life. That the impact of living this type of life has the capacity to transform us as individuals, but also our global community on so many layers. I would love to now go into and elaborate upon the tenets of the authentic self model. Know that the authentic self model does not connect intently to the sovereign leadership model, yet stands alone as a model for developing self. The two integrate and they marry in a symbiosis that can only be described as complementary and life-enhancing. Similarly to the sovereign leadership model, the authentic self model currently comprises of 14 tenets that contribute to living effectively, openly, and fully in an authentic state. Know that these tenets all connect to each other and are also somewhat dependent on each other. They are integrally connected. In no particular order, I'd like to reveal these now to you. Number 1, creating balance. 2, courageous action. 3, vulnerability, trust and openness. 4, intention and attention. 5, wholeness. 6, self-awareness. 7, fear, failure, feedback. 8, universal connectedness. 9, sovereign leadership. 10, reverence and self-respect. 11, purpose-driven clarity. 12, self-worth and value. 13, humility and gratitude. And 14, being infinitely curious. Now, this platform and video is not the space to go through extensively each tenet. Therefore, I will choose a couple to elaborate upon, to at least begin to provide you with an idea and concept of how these tenets work in cohesion and symbiosis, to be a truly impactful influence on the effective execution of living a life in an authentic posture. Of course, I offer a detailed background into the intricacies of this model and each tenet and how it can be applied to organisations and individuals, and further break down the authentic self model through programs such as my weekly wisdom webinar series, public speaking, stage courses, and my online programs. Okay, so the first tenet we will make reference to is creating balance. Immediately, what we can observe here is an ability to focus on all areas of our lives and forming an interconnected inner homeostasis that allows us to express fullness, competency, and aptitude in all 9 areas, or what I call 9 areas of life. Now, this translates to all areas of life being treated with equal value. No area is better than any other. Yes, there will be times in our lives that certain areas of life will require greater attention over others. But the power here rests in our ability to recognize the immense importance in striking balance in our actions and the way we value all areas of life in a sustainable manner, long-term thinking. Creating balance is closely linked to the tenet of wholeness and also refers to understanding that attaining or living in balance, homeostasis, and internalized equilibrium means living wholly, living in integrity, and living connectedly. Creating balance further refers to the manner in which we observe life, the perspectives that we assume that form part of the models of reality we live by. When we observe life in a broken, fragmented, disjointed manner, we experience this in life. When we strive to live in balance, we live in a state of wonder and fulfillment and in balance. But how do we know if we are living in balance? It is actually quite simple. See, we live in balance when we are connected to ourselves without consistent felt friction and tension. Constant tension around the choices we are making in life and our behaviours are not healthy and an indication that we are not living in alignment with who we truly are and who we wish to be. When we begin to notice that the choices we make are leading to a disharmonious state of being, we may wish to evaluate the focus and distributed attention we are placing on the entirety of our lives. Let us move now to self-worth and value as a powerful tenet of the authentic self model. Self-worth and value contribute to living a true life of authenticity by assisting us in looking inwards for the source of our inspiration. We are constantly searching for external validation as to who we are. The observations, vantage points, and opinions we take on will be often skewed and misaligned with our true selves. This is because those around, outside of ourselves, come to the party of life with their own prerogative, their own ideals, experiences, biases, and interpretations of life. Therefore, their valuation of who we are and will be tainted with those factors. And this is neither bad nor good, it just is. The problem rests in not trusting our own selves enough and not connecting deeply to our own intuition. When we look deeply within to validate our self-worth and value, we become empowered. Here in this space, we are living openly and authentically. Inner trust is present and we are powerful in our posture of giving to self, valuing self, respecting self, and trusting self enough to move through life with confidence and clarity. When we regard the integrity of our character and our overall selves in high esteem and we believe deeply in ourselves, as self-belief is intrinsically linked to self-worth and value, we open ourselves up to opportunities that are aligned with our highest purpose, because we value and place perceived worth derived from an internal state of being on ourselves. We back ourselves. We are courageous enough to act in authenticity and in integrity. This, my friends, is an empowered place to be. There is much more to be discussed on this tenet of self-worth and value, and in fact there is much to be said and much action to be taken on all tenets of the authentic self model. But for the interim, if I may, we shall cease to dive deeply into this arena, but rather I prompt you to learn as much as you can about the living of your truth, of your life in truth and integrity, and the power that awareness of self carries through life, whether it be through this specific authentic self model or other means. I urge you to seek to query and to immerse yourself in challenge, growth promoting activities, and into the chasms of who you are. However, if you are interested in learning more from me and about this model and my other models and how it may assist you in navigating the complexities of life, business, relationships, the self, and the mysteries of our existence, then please feel free to contact me directly. I'm available for specific training on my models, leadership training and facilitation, and of course private one-on-one work. These teachings are also available through my programs, such as the very, very accessible weekly wisdom webinar series and my many other online programs available via my website www.sifandos.com. I hope that this video has been insightful, enlightening, and I wish you many blessings on your journey into self, and I of course look forward to being of service. Thank you so much for watching.